Hello and hi, welcome. It's time for another edition of One on One. Okay, let me just test my sound levels here. Are we recording? Hopefully, we're all set. Let's just give a check on Instagram. That platform always has a mind of its own. And once we can confirm that, we can continue. Let me see. Where are you, Instagram? Where'd I put you? All right, then. So, yes, we are set to go. This is One on One. My name is Titi Oyinsan. Thank you so much for joining us. It's all about, having interesting conversations, and these conversations span over various industries. We like to bring you inspiring conversations where leaders, change makers, visionaries from various industries connect. Today's conversation is going to be an interesting one, and I have a feeling you've been looking forward to it as much as I have. Now, today we're going to dive into a groundbreaking initiative, and it's tackling one of the most pressing issues for young professionals, especially in urban cities like Lagos. I'm talking about rental payments. Now, if you've ever had to pay rent in Lagos, you know the pinch, you know the pain. And yeah, it's one of those things that eventually, when your mom and dad tell you to, keep it moving, get packing, if they ever do that, yeah, you're going to have to consider your options. Some people, decide to room with people, get a roommate. Some people decide to stay in a public facility like a hostel for students, and there are, of course, facilities like that keep students on for longer periods of time. But eventually, you're going to have to go into that home market, the housing market. And yeah, today our guest Omolade Akinwumi is the founder of and CEO of ULE Homes. It's a company offering short-term financial solutions for monthly rent payments. Monthly rent payments. Now we're going to explore the impact ULE is making, its unique challenges, of course, and the unique challenges of housing in Lagos State, and how Omolade's background in technology and cloud computing is influencing this approach to solving housing issues. How's it going, Omolade? Welcome.
Hi, Titi. Thank you very much. It's going well. How is it going at yours?
Thank you so much for joining us on One on One today. It's going great. You have a big smile on your face. Business must be good.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm happy to be here for one.
Okay, but you didn't answer the question about whether business is good. The average Nigerian says yes, so it's good.
We thank God. Thank God. Oh.
Okay, another sound check. All right, I think I'm good. All right, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, clearly.
All
Can
right,
you hear
fantastic.
me?
Yes, loud and clear. All right, so you need to let us in on how this all began. I know there must be a powerful story behind how Ule Homes came to be. Talk to us.
Okay. So, like I said, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, and I will just dive right in. So, Ule Holmes was birthed from thinking about the various challenges that young professionals face. My co-founder, Aziz, while about 3 years ago, he had an issue where he was living before, and there was an increase in the rent, and he couldn't afford it at the time, so he had to leave. There was no way he could gather up that amount of money within the short period of time when his landlord told him, okay, the landlord is now times plus 50%. So 3 years later, we met at a program, the Nigerian University of Technology and Management is a scholars program at my postgraduate. And then we decided to work on a particular project. So we are three co-founders, and all three of us have had experience in real estate. And Aziz had gone ahead to work in real estate because, I mean, he doesn't want any landlord to mess with him anymore. So then, and I have also had background in real estate. Then we decided to come together and look into the problem that people face in housing. And after speaking with a couple of people, getting hundreds of people's ideas and thoughts around the main pain point of what is happening around the housing sector, we decided to settle for rent financing.
Hmm.
So trust me, it was not an easy ride. In fact, everybody tells us that it's not going to work. I mean, Nigerians, they will take your money and just go. Is that really the problem you want to be solving right now? Like, there's just been a lot of, I don't know if that's what you want to be solving, but we decided, okay, since everybody's running away from it, let's even dive into it and see if it is worth solving. And that was what brought up and that was what brought up the interest to bring up this solution and bring up Ule Homes. So Ule Homes is a platform that provides flexible rent payment for professionals. So we ensure that you're a salary earner, your credit score is good enough, and then your monthly salary can cover 30% of your monthly salary can cover, if that's divided by 12, can cover the amount, because we want it to be a journey for our clients. We call them UCs, like ULA customers. We want it
Okay.
to be a journey. We want to be a part of their journey, their rental journey. So because there's a lot of inflation, things are on the rise, and everybody wants to, as much as things are not going on well and salaries are not really increasing like that, or at least it's not even increasing enough to match up with the inflation that is happening. We still want to travel, we still want to even eat fuel, we want to buy fuel. Thank God there's lights right now. A lot of us need to buy fuel and fuel our generators or our cars. So, everything is now so expensive. So we come in and say, okay, let's take up the burden of you having to think of paying to your landlord this huge sum of money. And we as humans, there are always one thing or the other coming up, right? You might be thinking, oh, I already have my money for rent. That's not a problem. But then what if something comes up, right? So then we are here and to just help you pay the lump sum to your landlord, and then you pay us back on a monthly basis.
Okay. So, the lump sum you're talking about, is that the annual fee, the year's worth of rent that you're talking about? Um,
Yes,
so you essentially pay the whole full year and then have your clients, your customers pay it monthly. So
exactly.
essentially, if my rent was 120,000, you would be taking 10,000 a month. Is this the basic math?
Yes, that's the basic math, but that's minus the interest, though.
Okay, so now you're going where
Yeah.
I'm going. You know where I'm going with this. Because in order for you to make this a viable business venture, you have to, of course, as a company, have some kind of profit margin. You must have
Right,
thought about all the variables. What are the T's and C's, the terms and conditions that apply? Let's talk about
right.
that.
Okay. So our eligibility criteria is we ensure that person is a salary earner. And secondly, we request our interest rate at the moment is 2.9% of the rent, of the total rent. So we collect that every month plus the equivalent to be paid on a monthly basis. So now, how we're able to achieve that reduced amount is by asking the client or the customer to pay a 50% security deposit, which we also call like a down payment. So this 50% is to reduce our risk, one, and
Right.
secondly, to also help our customers in saving, because at the end of the day, we give back that 50% to the customer after the repayment period. We give it back to the customer with interest. So
Hmm.
it's not like we're keeping your money just for or we just want to keep your money. We're keeping it so that, okay, we know that we can trust you and we trust that you can repay this money. And when you're done repaying the money, we give you back the money. Some of our customers even decide that, okay, you know what, just keep that money for me. I just want to continue paying this monthly I just want to keep paying this monthly way. right? And they just probably take the interest accrued on top of it.
All right. So can we take it? Can we backtrack once again? So your
Okay,
process,
sure.
well, in order to guard against risk, how is your company guarding against risk again? Go ahead.
Okay. So we ask our customers, give us a 50% down payment,
Okay.
right? So this will make us know that, okay, this client is, at least to an extent, is ready to pay for his rent and is ready to drop something for his rent. So now that 50%, right, we save it for the customer and then we pay the full 100% to the landlord directly.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So now I'm trying to do some quick math in my head. Let's go with the same 10,000 naira a month that I started with before. So you're
Okay.
saying 12 months in a year, I have 60,000, right? I
Right.
hand
Yeah.
over 60,000 to you, and the
Mm-hmm.
120,000 is paid to the landlord, right? So what
Exactly.
eventually does the customer pay monthly? What are we paying back the loan from Yule, or are we paying back the balance? The
So we
balance
are
of
paying
60.
back. Yeah. No, we are paying back the whole 120,000
Okay. So
because we are giving you back the 60,000 when you are done paying.
when you're done paying,
Yeah.
so essentially what could happen if the rent essentially stays at 10,000 naira a month is I already have the down payment for the next rent, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So
Exactly.
essentially, the 60,000 almost always, well, in any case, stays with Yule.
Well, they can decide to go ahead and take it, right? But instead of having to think of, oh, my next rent is here, you know that you have
The
some
back.
money somewhere, a
Okay.
backup. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this all sounds really great. I have to say, but how long did it take for this vision to come together? Was there a particular set of parameters that you as a company had to make sure you crossed? What were the hurdles involved in starting this particular business, and what sort of investors did you have to back you up?
Mm, yeah. Okay. So along the way, the first thing that crossed to our mind was, how do we get the money? How do we get somebody to trust us that, okay, the people that we are bringing are quality leads? Those were our major concerns. Those were the things that we were scared of. That this who wants to listen to three people that probably have not owned a startup before? But thankfully, we reached out to so many companies. We reached out to so many organizations. Initially, it was just find customers and reach out to as many individuals as possible. But we also realized that an effective way is to reach out to organizations. So organizations already have a pool of talent or a pool of employees, professionals. So it's easy to just integrate with them, partner with them, and then provide the services to a pool of people rather than just a large group of people. And because of the fact that we are streamlined currently, we are streamlined to a certain demography of people. So that's why we are currently targeting those organizations. And like I had said, regarding the financing part, we had spoken to a couple of organizations to, okay, please finance our company, please finance our clients rent. But it's also fair because nobody wants to see that you are not doing you don't have traction and want to put in something um because they believe that you're probably going to be great at some point. But thankfully, we got one person, just one person. I think that was really all we needed. One company, and I guess that was what we needed to start all of this, and that has really helped us grow and really helped us to be able to finance a couple of people.
So once you had one good investor, the rest was history, I guess.
Yeah.
You got the support that you needed. and they're still with you right now. Am I right?
Yes, yes, they are.
Okay. I want to I want to, reintroduce you if you're just tuning in. We're joined by Omolade Akinwumi, an expert in specializing in architectural software implementations. Now, she's also an expert in cloud computing, infrastructural development, and apparently you began as in customer care. And that's where my next question is coming from, because um, and dealing with people is a big deal. Dealing with
Yeah,
people can be a lot.
yeah.
How are you managing these customers? How you're managing doubt and fear? Um,
Mm,
and then, of course, they're your internal customers. How your team are working with them as well. How's that all going?
okay. So the story of me being a customer care rep.
Yeah.
So that was a couple of years back at Globacom, and I was working as hi, good afternoon. My name is Omolade. How may I help you? And that's when I was doing it. I felt like, oh my goodness, I'm just like doing so many people, like working with so many people all at once, having like about 100 customers in one day. And I felt, oh my goodness, this work is so overwhelming. But at the same time, I got to enjoy it. I got to see that, okay, there are different strokes to handle different people. Some just makes it easy and some just make it very hard. So coming here, and especially when we had a video that went viral, a lot of people just kept coming and trooping in, and we had to start receiving calls a lot. And I just had to switch to my customer care representative background that I had. And I just had to start speaking because I understand that even if they are going to convert in virtually or not, it's important that we actually do have a good, how do I put it, create a good, I mean, I'm missing the word right now. Impression. Yes.
Impression.
So I think that's one thing that I learned from there. And my team, it was a big shock to them. So I literally had to just calm them down because what is all this? Like, how do we handle this? We have to start taking like extra courses to know how to deal well with customers. And most of us, all three of us are now like, aside our normal jobs, we're now by default customer care representatives. We don't even have a choice. Now, handling my team, those guys are like the sweetest people on earth. I have Aziz and Chisom, and sometimes it gets really exhausting and overwhelming because there are so many decisions that we have to make. But we have to come in as a team and try to see how we can. Okay, this decision is good for the team. Why don't we go ahead with this? And then everybody just tries to see, oh, okay, how about we do this way? So at the end of the day, it's not a one-man business. We have to carry ourselves along at the end of the day, and we have to figure out a way to work and make it work because we have decided to make a decision that we want to make this work. People are going to say that it's going to not work, but we want to make it work somehow. So yeah, I think that's one thing that also drives all of us.
Okay, so do you have a financial institution that is working with you on this project? Some kind of bank or financer?
Yeah, we currently have a financier. We have a company, right, that is funding us. Yes,
Okay. Okay,
yes, we
so
do.
so so does it fall under the banking sector, insurance? Where does it fall?
No, it doesn't fall under any of those. There
Okay.
are also people that we're all really starting up together, and they're like, let's if you're just starting up and you want to get on your feet, I'll help you. So
Okay.
that's how it is.
Fantastic. So have you guys considered your insurance liabilities in all this? Because I
Yeah,
know that these are probably some of the questions that your customers will be asking. Are you insured?
yeah. Yes, yes, we don't take insurance lightly because we know that anything can happen to anyone at any time.
Mm.
So we don't want all those long story of, oh, but you understand that you're not human. So of course we've covered ourselves on that part. We've done our best to cover ourselves on that part as well.
Okay. Also, so I know that your background is also really deeply rooted in tech, in the tech area of things, cloud computing as well. Let's talk about how your tech experience sort of influenced how you've built Yule, and how it plays a role in the services you offer.
Right. Okay. So, my background in tech would I would say really helped me to shape how I see things and how I want to achieve excellence. And because I've worked in other organizations and I've seen how they do things and I see how they don't settle for less, I'm like, if I'm doing something, I don't want to settle for anything less. So most times I think my co-founders might say I actually push them too much or so I mean but for tech, I would say that initially we have felt like just do an Excel sheet, get all of them data, and then you're fine. It's not just to get data, populate them on an Excel sheet. Da, 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 da. But thankfully, my background has helped me to. Oh yes, I wanted to mention. So when people were calling and asking, sorry, I don't really understand that calculation that you're talking about. What do you mean by 20.5%? So sorry, I don't understand. Can you break it down? I was doing calculations to multiple people at the same time in a day. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's just technology has made things easy for people. Let's use the calculator. So,
Okay.
so when we built our calculator, it's just like very easy for people to go to the platform and then they see the breakdown of how they'll be paying on a monthly basis, their eligibility, what they're eligible for, based on their salary and all those things. And so
At
to
this point,
also like, okay,
at this point, I want to check out your calculator that you just mentioned.
okay,
Uh,
okay.
you initially gave me a link. I'm trying to share that with my screen now. Let's see if I can get that on screen. All right. So you call it a calculator. So all I do is I input some details, right? Is that what you?
Yes,
I
yes,
input some details,
exactly,
and with the calculator, I can calculate my loan options. So, for instance, I'll know where I fall. Um,
exactly.
okay, it says here calculate rental loan options and payment plan. Save your energy. We'll break this down for you nice and smooth. So this is where your techie background came in.
Yeah, one of the places, yes.
All right. So you don't need to sign in or register here. I just have to put my name, right?
Yeah,
My
yes.
my monthly salary is 200 million. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
How much
So
money
you,
can I borrow?
so you
Mhm.
can see the maximum amount you can borrow is 534. So
Million.
it already
Based on
calculates that for you because
based on the 200
exactly.
million naira. Okay.
Yes.
That's my salary, by the way. I claim it. Amen. Can
Amen.
you say amen with me? All right.
Amen. Amen.
I could actually borrow 534 million based on this.
Yes.
But how much would I be paying back? Let's just say
Okay, so
uh,
just put the amount you want to borrow. Can just put the amount.
500 million.
Okay.
And
I
then I
mean, but
just
I mean,
calculate.
we must make it as easy as possible.
Okay. Okay. So what I can borrow here is total repayment amount becomes 674 million amount borrowed. So you said customer earns. What does the customer earns mean?
Yes.
What does
Okay.
it mean?
So we ask them to pay a 50% down payment, right? So which means that you're paying
Yeah.
a 250 million naira down payment, right? So
Yeah.
after you're done paying the whole 674 million,
Yeah.
we give you back your 250 million plus
Okay.
30 million. So it means it's 30 million that you have accrued over that period.
Oh, okay. So you're also helping me essentially save. You're
Exactly.
building interest on it. So the interest doesn't
Exactly.
go to the company. It comes back to the person that gave the money.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, although we get our own interest, right? But yes, you get your interest back as well.
This is really interesting. So I have here the Excel sheet that you guys turned into Yeah, this
Well,
is
this is just
a
the
breakdown. This is
breakdown.
a breakdown
It's
of
work in progress, really. But yeah,
this looks really simple and easy to understand. So I put in 500 million, right? My down,
yeah,
so the amount I want to borrow is 500 million. My down
yeah,
payment is 250 million. And then the amount of interest I earn every month is 14,500,000, right?
yes.
Okay. So if you compound all of that, is when you get the
The total
actual
repayment.
the earnings. You said customer earns per year
Okay.
208. Is that where that
Yeah.
comes from?
Oh, so no, it's just like the 250 million we are giving it back to you,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And plus extra 30 million. But the total repayment is the 674 million that you are
Okay.
giving us back. Yes.
Okay.
That's
So
with a 2.9% interest rate.
okay. All right then. 2.9%. So your
Yes.
rate is based on what which rates are you using?
Which rates are we using?
Said
I mean,
interest
different companies use different interest
rate.
rates. So,
Exactly. That's where I'm
yeah.
from, right? So for
Sorry?
instance, if I was doing like a mutual fund, I would probably be getting like an 8 or 7%. If I'm using a
Right.
bank, what sort of percentage would I get in interest at a bank? So I'm just trying to compare whose rates are you using.
We're using our rates.
You have your own
Our
personal.
rates. Yeah, but then loan rates, the MPR, I think is about for banks about I think 2%.
Okay. All
I think
right.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. This is really all very interesting and extremely easy to understand. Thank you so much for breaking it down for us like this. Let me see. So you're only working on homes now. How do I confirm what I'm using the cash for? Do you pay it directly
To
to
your landlord.
the landlord?
Directly to your landlord, yes.
So there's no way I could just, like, okay, you hold this money for me. Um,
No, we
go ahead, go ahead.
so and to a large extent, we believe that we hope that people don't like lie, but we know that we cannot trust like 100% everybody. So we make our KYC as tight as possible. We don't want to hear stories. Our financiers, they don't want to hear stories because everything bounces back on our head. And I mean, well, we at the end of the day, so we try to make sure our KYC is as tight as possible, and then we validate every single thing you say. We check your credit score, we
Okay.
check if you owe any money, we
Okay.
check if you really earn where you earn. We do
Okay.
all the verification. We go to your house and verify that that house is your house. We call your landlord and say, okay, please, you know this person, or does this person actually want to lives in this place?
Okay.
Or yeah.
Okay. I completely understand. I get that. Do you have any limits? Is there a cap at what you
Oh,
can borrow?
yes. So for now,
100
the
million can
cap for now, the cap is 5 million naira.
5 million. Okay. So
Yes,
amount to
yes.
borrow is 5 million. That's the cap for now per person. Per
Per
person.
person, yes. Per
Person. Okay.
person.
All right then. So that's the yearly rent. That's the yearly rent you're talking.
Yes,
Okay, fantastic.
yes.
No problem. All right, I'm doing that quick calculation now on your app. So amount borrowed 5 million, down payment is 2.5, right? The repayment
Yes,
amount is 6,740,000, and then customer earns 2.8 million, which
right.
essentially would be put towards next year's rent,
Rent,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, this is all, it sounds all very smooth and simple and easy to understand. And it just, I feel like it's something that should have been able to happen before. Companies should have been able to embark on stuff like this before, right? Have there been other
Yeah.
companies embarked on this, and do you know what they're up to now?
Yeah, there are a lot of companies that have actually tried to do this, but I don't think there's any company that has done this really low interest rates.
Okay.
And so because we're in the home home business.
Hmm.
So most people tend to also go into real estate, providing property management, things around homes. So
Yes.
they're just pivoting and diversifying into different other
Sure.
spheres of that same industry.
So that's what they're doing. But what is Yule doing? What is the plan for expansion? Is it going to go beyond Lagos? Is your service going to expand to other types of financial needs? Talk to us.
Okay, yes, we are actually looking at going beyond Lagos by next year, and we hope to have been present in Abuja, Port Harcourt, because a lot of people have been reaching out to us in those areas, and we want to also provide this service to them. So, because they are experiencing this particular dilemma, rent increments, inflation into their savings, and so many other things, right? So, yes, we look to expand, and then we also look to get other forms of payment, especially particularly around housing, partner with as many agents as possible. I mean, we are not here to steal agents jobs, we are here to partner with them and see how we can also provide this service to their clients. And yes, we hope to get as many financiers so that we can also be able to do active work.
Okay.
And yes, partner with landlords
Mm.
and as many as possible.
All right. Okay, well, I'm definitely wishing you guys luck. I'm wishing your team luck at Yule Homes, and
Thank
we'll
you.
definitely be, of course, you'll probably be releasing new packages and offers and products to the market eventually. Please just let us know and keep us updated, and we will do what we can to, be part of that. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Omolade.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be here, Madam Titi.
Well done, and keep it going, keep it up. And I feel like there's probably someone that needed to hear this, or probably support this, and hopefully they will also reach out to you soon enough.
We are looking forward to that.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Omalade. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
So that's the information you need right there. Yule Homes. Experience the freedom of renting without the financial burden. Interesting. Unlock a world of possibilities. Rent smarter, not harder, with Yule Rent Financing Platform. So it is actually a financing platform as they've described it, and I actually think it's really interesting. If you, for instance, have a monthly salary of if you have a monthly salary, let me see if I can do that calculation again. Of So the maximum you can actually borrow is 5 million for now to pay your rent, but you need to do a down payment of 2.5 million. So if, for instance, your rent is maybe like 4 million and you have 2.5 or 2 million with you, you can always put that down. They will pay the rest for you. And they'll keep the 2 million for you till the end of the payment cycle, and possibly even give it back to you, depending on what you decide to do with the money, with interest. Interesting stuff. You learn new things every day, and that's one of the reasons why we're here on One on One. Until I come your way next time, please reach out to us if you would like to be on One sometime soon. All you need to do is send us an email. That's Dynamite Podcast Network at gmail.com. Dynamite Podcast Network at gmail.com, and we will get back to you. My name, once again,